I discovered a really cool way to never pay rent again. And if you give me just a few minutes, I'll tell you exactly how this works. This is how you can house hack from anywhere in the world. And I've been doing this for almost the last decade, and it's made me so much money. It's actually made me retire before 30. Not paying rent, I was able to save that money, make money from home, and put that money into investments that made me tons of money, even during the pandemic. So I'm going to show you how this actually works. Let me put this down. So first of all, everybody, 100% of people in the world, just about, their biggest expense is housing. Housing is how much you spend to live day by day. So you're probably paying for a place to rent right now, wherever you're staying, or you're paying a mortgage. Rent, mortgage, doesn't matter. Whether you rent or own, your house is your biggest expense. And it's something that comes out of your paycheck every single month. Now, the wisdom would say it shouldn't be more than 30%. But in the US, we actually have most people paying around 40% of their income to just live in a house. So then that's not sustainable. But there are some people that are even spending as much as 50 and 60% of their housing cost of their income. Just imagine you get paid $10,000 a month and your rent is $5,000 a month. That's crazy. Or if you're getting paid $2,000, then you're paying $1,000 for rent. That's crazy. Where does your money go? Of course, people are not in a good financial shape. So then is there a way to actually better this situation? Well, there is, and it's called house hacking. So here's how it works. Let's say you are in a living situation where you have 3 bedrooms. And what house hacking is if you can stay in one unit and rent out the other 2 for more than this unit goes for, and I'm going to show you how this goes, more than the entire unit goes for, then you can actually make money and just live in one unit. Let me show you how this works. So let's say you're paying $1,000 for rent for a 3-bedroom apartment. Now this may not be realistic where you are because housing costs are very expensive, but let's just say it's $1,000 for a 3-bedroom. Now, if you find 2 people to pay you $600 and stay in the other 2 bedrooms, what does that mean? It means that you are actually earning money, staying home, and you have virtually eliminated your entire housing cost. Boom. How does that work? Because it's simple math. So all we need to do is find a way to get those 2 bedrooms earning at least $600 per month, and you can live for free and earn money staying home. Once I figured this out, boom, everything changed for me. Because 50% of your housing budget is going towards housing, 40%, 30%. Now let's say you are able to move from 50% down to 10% to 0 and then actually earn money on that housing cost. Just imagine how your life would change. Take a second to actually stop and imagine that you're no longer paying rent. Imagine putting all of that extra into the stock market. Now, you may not think that this is a lot, but most people can't even afford to invest $100 a month. Most Americans don't invest even $1,000 a month. So then let's say you are able to eliminate your entire housing costs and now put that entire thing into the stock market. Just imagine how amazing that would be. Now, in 10 years, that $12,000 a year, if you're saving that money, in 10 years, that's $120,000. Can you see how this adds up? In 10 years, you can get $120,000. And if you save that up with the market compounding, that can easily become $1 million in just 4 decades. No problem. This is how the mind works. In fact, it would not even take 4 decades. You'd be able to retire early just with this simple hack. Again, this is how I was able to retire, because the stock market is literally a cheat code once you know how to house hack. Everything else becomes a cheat code. Crypto becomes a cheat code because you can put so much more money into any one of these things. So let's go back to how to house hack. Before you know how to house hack, you have to understand the principle. You are dividing your unit into shareable portions and renting each of these portions to different people. Many centuries ago, this is how land was divided. Someone owned 50 acres of land and they had something called serfs. And they decided that they're going to rent Instead of farming all 50 acres of land, it would be more profitable for them to rent you 5 acres, you 2 acres, you get 2, you get 10, you get 15, you get 5, you get 10, you get 7. And that is how they divided the rest of the land, instead of you doing all the work yourself. And that's the idea of house hacking. You see, it's not a new concept. Remember, all those years ago, when Mary and Joseph were walking to get their tax done, all they had to do was stop inside an inn and rent somebody's manger, and guess what? That manger owner got paid. And of course, Jesus was born, no problem. But don't miss the business side of that story. That person got paid, and you can get paid as well. No, just think. You already have a place and a space and a way and a path to make money from real estate. You just don't have enough information to actually start using it, which is what I'm going to give to you right now. So how do you actually start using this information to make some money? Well, the first thing is that wherever you are in the world, people are renting rooms, and people are doing it online. They're putting their information online, they're finding these places, and then they're getting to rent these places for a couple of $100 or a few $1,000s a month. So one of those is Airbnb, one of those is of course VRBO, another one is bookings.com, another one is Furnish Finder. You can even find people off Facebook Marketplace. As long as you are finding people to rent your house to, and that you can put them in and they can stay there and they can pay you month after month, even if they're staying there for 6 months, 1 month, or just a couple of weeks, you can earn money from this. This is how it works. Now, I hear what you're saying. You don't want strangers to stay in your place because you don't know, of course, what people are going to come with. So there are a couple of things that actually help me to get over that fear. One, they're just as scared of you as you are of them. That's the first thing. Because they're actually going to your place. They don't know if you're crazy, and you don't know if they're crazy. And anyone that's willing to do that type of situation, which we have become accustomed to now with Airbnb and Uber, they already are aware that there are some challenges and there are some risks. So don't be disturbed. There are people just like you doing this exact model all over the world. That's the first thing. You're not new. Don't worry. The risk is not that big. In all my years of doing this, I've only had maybe 2 or 3 people that's like, whoa. But that's because we run dozens of locations. So you don't have to worry about that. The second thing is that you can set house rules and screen people before they even come to the place. If you're not comfortable with anybody, then you can just cancel. There are a couple of things that you can do before they actually come in. Of course, if you're on Airbnb, they already screened them. They already have their identity and all of their information, their email address, they know how to contact them. But for you, what you can do, if you're renting people privately, you can ask them for their information, for their phone number. You can ask them to provide an email address. You can make sure that you are as safe as possible. When they walk through the door, you can do certain things to make sure, of course, that you are safe. Obviously, you're going to have a key and lock on every door. You're going to put cameras into your place. Obviously, you're going to set up safety features that let people know that if something goes down, the police will be called. And you obviously can set up house rules to make sure that people are not throwing parties, people are not disturbing and having all sorts of loud noises at nighttime. All of these things can be set up. But that has to do with house rules and managing the property. The point is that once you set your house rules correctly, the risk of hosting people from all over the world and making money is much, much less. I'm going to stop there because I want you to understand that this goes way deeper and this is just an introductory video. If you want more information on this, on how you can actually eliminate your entire housing costs, I promise there's another video right here waiting for you, because this is actually how I was able to earn my first million. I'll see you over there.